And we're back 6 hours later after the YD Red Sox come away with their first playoff victory, a chance to do it again on the road here at Eldridge Park for a gorgeous Friday night of baseball in Orleans, Massachusetts. YD coming off a 12-11 comeback victory just 6 or 7 hours ago, the final cap on a game that was called in through the 8th due to darkness, and Sam a chance to regroup and go into tomorrow with maybe an off day or maybe a date with the Brewster Whitecaps.
Well, not a whole lot of time to sit and think about the results in that first game, Carlo, but if you think about the results, well, it's a pretty positive result for YD. They fell behind early and often in that game, 6-0 after the top of the first. After the top of the fourth, it was 10-3 in favor of Orleans, but YD got some runs back, a big fifth, a big sixth. They found themselves on top, and we were left in suspense, Carlo. 16 hours between the final pitch thrown last night and the first pitch thrown today at noon this afternoon in YD. And hey, only 12 minutes of baseball played after the resumption, and the Red Sox get to sit with that Game 1 win.
It's a windy one here at Eldridge. Let's get you the starting lineups for these YD Red Sox, who will bat first against the Orleans Firebirds. Cole Carrick out of San Diego State leads things off. Woody Hayden bats second out of Irvine. Brady Montgomery from Stanford bats third, and Hayden Schott from Columbia cleans things up. Mike Bovey out of Omaha, Nebraska bats fifth. Homer Bush Jr. in the sixth spot out of Grand Canyon. Johnny Long from Long Beach State, who had the biggest hit of the game yesterday with his grand slam, bats seventh. Caden Connor out of Cal State Fullerton bats eighth, and Fernando Gonzalez from Georgia bats ninth. They'll be facing the left-handed arm of Ben Shields atop the mound out of George Mason. Shields for this Orleans team with a 2.73 ERA, 4 starts, 9 appearances. He has been in between the bullpen and the starting mound. Came out of the bullpen to begin the summer, then got back on as a starter and went back to the bullpen, flipped and flopped. He's back as a starter here today, coming off maybe his best performance of the summer. 6 innings, no earned runs, just 3 hits. Sam, in his last 11 innings, he has not allowed an earned run.
And he was honored as such as the final regular season pitcher of the week on Cape Cod, a well-deserved honor for him. A pitching staff that has had multiple honorees recently, Carlo.
Bryce Worker, before today's game, named Pitcher of the Year for the Orleans Firebirds. I don't think anybody's surprised at that. He was electric, and YD got a great taste of it a couple days ago. Oh, here we go on a overcast and a windy day at Eldridge Park. YD with an opportunity to come up with a victory and punch their ticket to the Eastern Division Finals. Right-handed bat of Cole Carrick looks on towards the lefty Shields. Holds the bat over that right shoulder. Shields kicks high. His pitch down the hill. Carrick slices one down the right field line, curling away from the first baseman. Hop feed. Does he have enough room? It's out of play. On the berm down the right field line, and first pitch at 6:34, a little late here at Eldridge Park. YD in the redshirt Friday unis as the road team. Cape Cod across their chest in camouflage. Numbers on the back in camo, outlined in black. The white pants for the Red Sox. White pants, a commonality with the Orleans uniforms. 0-1, Carrick smacks one down the third baseline, foul. No balls and 2 strikes with nobody out, no score. Orleans with the white pants as well, the white HDMH tops. Sleeveless with the black undersleeves. Firebirds across the chest in red, outlined in black. 0-2 count to Carrick. He stands crowding the plate with the long blonde hair flowing out of his helmet. Shields peeks over the top of his glove. He sets. He kicks. 0-2. Carrick, half swing on a ball in the dirt. He did not go, says first base umpire Jim Fonseca. Get to the rest of the umpire crew quickly. Jeff Merzell is behind the plate. Mike Rabideau is up the middle at second. Joe Labella is at third. Jeff, Jim, Mike, and Joe all wearing the black umpire unis. With the wind howling in, Carrick looking to get aboard. Here's his 1-2. Fastball at the knees. Strike 3 called. Shields start his outing out with a strikeout looking. And down goes Cole Carrick to begin this game. Let's get to the defense for these Orleans Firebirds. We'll start with Connor Burns behind the plate, catching for the second straight day. At first, Tommy Hoffey. At second, J.D. Urso. At shortstop, Nick McCleary. And at third, Drew Metzdorf. Right into bat of Woody Hayden looks on with one out and the bases empty. Here's the pitch. Hayden takes a fastball at the knees. No balls and one strike. In the outfield from left to right, it's Luke Keeschel in left. He's back in the field after DHing for most of the back half of this summer. In center, Jacob Stinson. And in right, Isaac Humphrey. Shields sets the 0-1. And a breaking ball in the dirt. The count, 1 ball and 1 strike. No score. We're in the top of the first. And Sam, 30 minutes ago, it was sunny. There was no breeze. 30 minutes later, all we see is dark skies, and the wind is blowing the flag hard in from center.
These lights around us doing a little bit more work than maybe we're used to this early in a ball game.
Hayden with an open stance, the left foot behind the right foot. Here comes the 1-1 down the hill. Hayden watches a changeup catch the bottom of the zone. 1 ball and 2 strikes with 1 out and nobody on. Woody with multiple hits in his last 2 games. Had 2 RBIs yesterday. Gave YD the lead. It was in the bottom of the 6th as they came back down 10-3. The 1-2. And he curls one foul onto the berm down the right field line. And the count holds at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Lighter cloud. As you can guess, it's pretty cloudy. 1-2. Hayden rolls one, third base side. The third baseman, Metzdorf, charges. As it go fair, it's a ruled fair. And on to first is Hayden. They're going to call that a hit. Home plate umpire Jeff Merzell is talking to Kelly Nicholson, and Kelly's out of his dugout.
And that is Jeff Merzell's call if it's before the third base back. And it's umpire. And if Jeff Merzell, from his perch behind home plate, saw that ball as fair, I tend to believe you, but we don't have the angle on that ball where we sit.
We definitely don't. We're cut off by the dugout, so hard to see exactly what happened. Maybe the ball popped out of Metzdorf's glove. Nonetheless, 1 out, 1 on. YD with their first hit. And in stands the switch hitter, batting from the right side. It's Braden Montgomery, who pitched earlier today. Walked 1, struck out 2 to secure a YD win in a game that was paused yesterday. Opening offering to the righty, and he swings and foul, taps it into the glove. A changeup in the count, no balls and 1 strike. So Braden pitching today, and Sam, it looks like he's settling into that closer role for YD.
A huge addition to that bullpen if he can be that guy for a YD team who lost so many bullpen arms in the draft and has struggled to piece late innings together lately.
Hayden at first. He has a stolen base. Here's the 0-1. He's running. Montgomery takes a fastball high. The throw on to second. Hops into the outfield. Hayden steals second. He's going to try to go to third. The ball's picked up in center by Stinson. He has no play. Woody Hayden moves from first to third. He steals a base off Connor Burns and then goes to third on the air. And there's a runner 90 feet away in the top of the first. The Red Sox looking to strike first with 1 out. That is just the 12th stolen base against Connor Burns all summer. He has been fantastic behind the plate.
He got a good throw off, too. It was just a little bit into the runner and took Urso away from the play.
Here's the 1-1. Montgomery rolls one up the middle. Long run for the third baseman to McCleary. He can't handle it cleanly. Hayden scores. Braden's at first, and a run is across in the top of the first. Whitey leads 1-0. They mark it an error on McCleary. And the Red Sox, Sam, who fell behind 7 runs yesterday, take the first lead here at Eldridge.
Something in this series about early runs, and the Red Sox taking advantage, that fair ball call, allowing the Red Sox to get a runner into scoring position, take advantage of the throwing error, take advantage of that, which would have scored a run, give Montgomery an RBI, but reaching on the fielding error.
So here's the left-handed bat of Hayden Schott. First pitch from Shields. And Schott rips one into left field. That's a base hit. Stopping at second is Montgomery. 6th time under Scott Pickler in their 8 matchups. They've never lost in a playoff series to the Firebirds. Lefty Bovey looks on. First pitch is a fastball at the top of the zone, and the count, no balls and 1 strike. Dark skies in right, some sunlight in straightaway center, and the wind is blowing in from center. There's a flagpole in about right center, and it's coming straight towards home. A good crowd on the berm and right. Shields looks at second towards Montgomery, looks in. Here comes his 0-1. Bovey takes a curve for his strike. Quickly, no balls and 2 strikes.
It's not an easy matchup for Bovey, a lefty who's more command, touch and feel in terms of pure stuff, but even with that, he's able to put that wherever he wants to, and Mike Bovey, who is a little bit better against right-handed pitchers, is going to have to battle here against maybe not his best matchup.
2 on with 1 out. Here comes the 0-2 pitch from Shields. And a curveball bounces in the dirt. 1 ball and 2 strikes, 1-0 YD in the top of the first.
That's a good block there by Connor Burns. That excellent defensive aptitude behind home plate. 2 great defensive catchers for both teams, and Fernando Gonzalez and Connor Burns. And Burns showing off what makes him so valuable as a backstop for Orleans.
The wind is howling. The Red Sox are hot. 1-2. Fastball misses low and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Montgomery at second. He's got decent speed. So does Schott behind him at first. Bovey coming off his first 3-hit game since June 20th. Trying to continue that hot streak. Mike levitates the bat over the left shoulder. Elbows close together in the left-handed batter's box, the 2-2. And he swings and pops one up down the third base line, curling out of play. It's going to land on the road and just miss a car. Route 28, dangerous place to drive when there's games at Eldridge Park, Sam. Good thing we got here early. And the count, it's 2 balls and 2 strikes to Bovey.
A Nissan was rolling down the road and hit the brakes and saw that ball land right in front of it. Had they not hit the brakes, that could have been a broken windshield.
That's an experienced driver. Paying attention to the baseball game. 2 on, 1 out. 1-0 YD in the top of the first, the 2-2. Bovey takes a fastball that misses downstairs, and a full count here to Mike Bovey. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And that's something Mike is working on, Sam. He took a ton of walks to begin the year, and then that kind of fell off in the middle of the year. But as of late, Mike is really seeing the ball well.
Mike dealt with a couple of minor injuries during the season, and when he was dealing with those, when he'd play, I think he was pressing a little bit, trying to do too much, moving outside the strike zone. The best version of Mike Bovey takes a lot of walks.
Payoff pitch with 2 on. Here it comes. Bovey checks his swing on a fastball low. Did he go? Yes! Third base umpire Joe Labella says Mike went around. Second strikeout of the inning for Shields, and it's a big one. Instead of the bases loaded with 1 out, there's 2 on with 2 out for Homer Bush Jr. Sam, we're right here. That looked like ball 3, but Bovey unable to hold off on a very close pitch.
It's certainly a close call whether he swung or not. It's the umpire's discretion. Certainly the best view in the ballpark was down that third base line, and I think it could have definitely been a right call there.
Right in at bat of Bush looks up. First pitch, fastball low. 1 ball and no strikes. Montgomery is at second. Hayden Schott at first. Schott with a single. Montgomery reached on an E6. The wind blowing in from right. Dark gray clouds hang overhead. Bush holds the bat in front of him. Doesn't even rest it over that shoulder, Sam. Just holds it straight out in front. Tucked into his chest, the 1-0. He takes a fastball low. 2 balls and no strikes with 2 outs, 1-0 YD. Red Sox, an opportunity to win 2 games in 1 day. They hadn't won a game in the past 13 days.
He said it, Carlo. This sport, man. Sometimes it's so silly.
The berm's starting to fill up some more as Orleans fans pour in for what could be their final home game. The 2-0. Bush rolls one on the ground, third base side. Metzdorf can't handle it cleanly. At third, Montgomery is in there safe. On to first is Homer Bush Jr. Is that the 3rd error of the inning? We'll see. Metzdorf was there at third base on a hot shot to him, and it is. Orleans has committed 3 errors in the top of the first, and the bases are juiced for a guy who hit a grand slam yesterday. It's Johnny Long.
It's not an easy play for Drew Metzdorf. That's a tough error. Homer hit it hard down the line. Metzdorf took a shuffle step towards the line, tried to backhand it, couldn't handle it. Might not have even had a play with Homer's speed heading down the first baseline, but still a tough error. And looks like we have action in the bullpen for Orleans. I believe it's the right-hander Ryan Risas.
Risas getting warm, and for Ben
Or
Shields.
Check that, Ryan Barassa.
Ryan Barassa.
Risas is a left-hander.
They're both named Ryan.
Fairly close names.
Very close.
The double S's.
Bases loaded with 2 outs, 1-0 YD, top 1. Right into bat of Long stares in. Shields delivery. Long taps one foul down the third base line. No balls and 1 strike. Cloud starting to open up in left. There's a bird's nest in the light pole down the left field line, and a bird pokes his head out. Here on Cape Cod, the Eastern Division semifinals. Red Sox winning yesterday, looking for a win here today. 0-1. Long belts one right to third, gets by the shortstop McCleary into left field. Montgomery scores, shot gets the go sign. He's rounding third, in on his feet. On to third goes Homer Bush Jr. It's a 2 RBI single for Johnny Long, and the Red Sox are up 3-0 before we go to the bottom of the first. Johnny Long just continues to hit well with runners in scoring position. That's now 6 RBIs in this playoff series.
And Johnny also had a base hit with runners in scoring position after the grand slam, so he's heating up. A spot the Red Sox have struggled all summer in here in the playoffs with the bases loaded. Their biggest hits with the sacks full have come in these first 2 playoff games.
In stands Caden Connor, the 8-hole hitter wearing number 7. Left-handed batter looks on with runners to the corners and 2 outs. It's 3-0 YD. Shields kicks and deals. Caden shows bunt, pulls it back, takes the ball low. 1 ball and no strikes. Well, Sam, if you're this YD team, you have to imagine you know better than anybody. Fell behind 6-0 yesterday in the top of the first. Can't be over for the Red Sox.
Well, the best thing you can do for a starting pitcher the day after you had a bad start on the mound as a team is get him an early lead.
Runners at the corners. Here comes the 1-0. And Caden swings and misses at a slider. 1 ball and 1 strike. Bush leads at third, a giant rip on his left hamstring. Johnny Long at first. Homer Bush Jr. with great speed at third. Haven't seen Johnny steal a base over there at first. Wind still blowing in. Red Sox have not done it with hard hit balls. Caden holds the bat over the left shoulder. Shields 1-1. Look out. Caden has to pull his hands into his red uniform and looks at a fastball that barely misses him. 2 balls and a strike. And while the Red Sox haven't won many games as of late, their win that they clinched this morning was their first in 13 days. Caden Connor, over the last 15 games, has been swinging the bat well, hitting over 300 in that stretch. 2-1-2, and he pokes one foul, first base side. That goes over towards the berm. A kid in a Firebirds uniform pokes out to try to catch it, and it goes right through the wickets. And disappointed with himself, he hangs his head and awaits another ball. He's right down the line, though, Sam. He should have more opportunities.
Yeah, Carlo, if you're going to do that, if you're going to jump out to try to make a play, you got to be able to actually, get the baseball in your hands.
It's a lot of pressure, though, because everyone's looking at you. Johnny Long at first. He had a 2 RBI single. Homer Bush Jr. is at third. He reached on an error, one of 3 errors in this top of the first by the Orleans Firebirds. If you're wondering, there are lights here at Eldridge. We will not be canceled due to darkness after a long top of the first. Shields peeks over his shoulder, the 2-2. Caden swings and misses at a high fastball and strikes out. Ben Shields strikes out the side, but his defense hampers him in the top of the first. 3 errors by Orleans, just 3 hits by the Red Sox, but it counts for all the same 3 runs. We head to the bottom of the first. YD with an early lead here at Eldridge Park. T-Mobile is proud to sponsor the Cape Cod Baseball League. T-Mobile is committed to serving those who serve, and that's why they go above and beyond for our active duty military and veterans. Visit your neighborhood T-Mobile store or visit T-Mobile.com to learn more. Carlo Jimenez alongside my good friend Sam Lebowitz, who are welcoming you into the bottom of the first inning at Eldridge Park, where the Red Sox have earned their starting pitcher a 3-0 lead. Ivan Morero, the right-handed arm, on the mound for YD. This is the lineup he faces for the Orleans Firebirds. Luke Keishel to lead things off out of Arizona State. J.D. Urso from Tampa bats second. Drew Metzdorf, the senior from UMass Boston, bats third. Isaac Humphrey, the lefty from Louisville, hits cleanup. Jacob Stinson from Nevada bats fifth. Connor Burns, the YD Red Sox killer, bats sixth from Long Beach State. Logan Beard making his playoff debut, bats seventh from Louisville. Tommy Hopfe bats 8th out of Fresno State, and Nick McCleary from Arizona bats 9th. 3 errors by the Firebirds, 3 runs by the Red Sox, and they lead 3-0 here in the bottom of the first. Romero making another start for these YD Red Sox. He started the summer as a pitcher out of the pen, but pitched so well, he's earned the trust of Scott Pickler, making his 4th start of the summer. Right on right. First pitch. Fastball. Misses away. 1 ball and no strikes. Keishel had his second 0 for 5 game of the summer yesterday. He's not been 0 for 5 many times. The Iron Man for this Firebirds team. 1-0. And he swings and curls a fastball back to the screen. 1 ball, 1 strike. Red Sox with an opportunity to sweep Orleans to advance to the East Division Finals. Winning today. After yesterday's game was called in the 8th inning due to darkness, we picked it up at 12, 1-1. Fastball paints the inner edge. 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody out and nobody on in the bottom of the first. 3-0 YD. And Sam, it felt like the energy, even though we played 12 minutes of baseball this morning, was really good for the team in the Red Sox uniforms.
Not just the team, around home plate too. Lots of fans.
1-2. Keishel swings and chops one back towards the berm that is completely full of fans. Not many opportunities if you're showing up right now to sit down. It is busy in right center and in left center as well.
Especially down that right field line. Lots and lots of people out there who have come out in support of their birds, including the Birdman.
The Birdman out and about in the giant red bird costume. Self-made. 1-2. Keishel pops one up into the dark sky and right, going back the first baseman along. Towards foul territory, in fair territory. He makes the catch as he tight ropes the white chalk line. There's 1 away.
Should clarify, we're not talking about Matt Cavanaugh. This is a different Birdman. This is a guy in a giant bird costume.
That is a good clarification. Let's get you the rest of the defense for these YD Red Sox. Johnny Long is at first. You just saw him. Cole Carrick's at second today. Woody Haydean's at short. Mike Bovey is at third. Caden Connor is at left. Homer Bush Jr. roams the largest center field on Cape. And Brady Montgomery is in right. 3-0 YD. We're in the bottom of the first with 1 out. Romero kicks and deals to the righty J.D. Urso. And a slider catches the inside part of the plate. No balls and 1 strike. J.D. with his 4th multi-hit game of the summer in game 1. Here's the 0-1. Changeup low. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. 3-0 YD as a flock of geese fly overhead. There's 1 geese that's astray from the other 6. Hopefully he finds his way home. 1-1. Fastball misses low and away. 2 balls and 1 strike. Urso yesterday was 2 for 4 with 2 walks. Reached 4 times, as did many Orleans Firebirds. They put up 11 runs in the loss. 2-1 from Romero. Fastball low. And the count, 3 balls and 1 strike, just below the knees. Jeff Merzell behind the plate. He puts his hands on his knees. He must have killer legs, Sam. He's in like a quarter squat the entire time he's calling balls and strikes. 3-1. Fastball pings the outside part of the plate. The count runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Urso. Romero trying to retire back-to-back hitters to begin his outing.
Umpires are athletes too, Carlo. Some of them at least.
3-2. And the fastball misses low. Romero tries to paint the bottom of the plate. Can't find it. Runner on first as Urso walks aboard. And here is Drew Metzdorf, who ever since coming to Cape Cod might be the hottest player on Cape Cod. Back-to-back games with 3 hits. He's 3 for his last 6 with 4 RBIs. He's played 9 games, Sam. He has multiple hits in 5 of them. Infield comes in at third with Bovey. Metzdorf, the right-handed batter, digs in with 1 on and 1 out. 3-0 YD leads. We're in the bottom of the first. Romero peeks over his left shoulder and deals. And Metzdorf fouls one off down the right field line. Over towards the snack shack here at Eldridge Park.
And Carlo, the Red Sox have hardly been able to get Metzdorf out. It seems like anything he puts in play finds room, and he's an extremely fast runner. He had 27 steals with UMass Boston this year and more in the double digits with the Pittsfield Suns earlier this summer.
Romero exhales, sets at his black belt, kicks 0-1. Swing and a miss at a high fastball. And the count, no balls and 2 strikes with 1 out. Urso at first. Does not have a stolen base this summer. Would be surprised if he runs. Metzdorf with a blue shin guard on that left leg from UMass Boston. You guessed it, their colors are blue. Romero fiddling with the ball in his glove. 0-2. Fastball misses high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. You're talking about Metzdorf's ability against this YD team. He's played 3 games against the Red Sox. He's got 7 hits. Holds the bat in front of him. Romero's 1-2. Metzdorf swings and foul, taps one into the glove of Gonzalez. That's strike 3. First strikeout for Ivan Romero. He's the second out on the bottom of the first. And here's Isaac Humphrey. And Sam Romero slider fastball combo seems to be working for him here early.
Yeah, that one had some good heat on it and got underneath the bat of Drew Metzdorf, who was well behind it.
So 1 on with 2 gone. YD a 3-0 lead in the bottom of the first. And here's the left-handed bat of Isaac Humphrey. Opening offering. Humphrey looks at a fastball chin high. 1 ball and no strikes. Humphrey also had multiple hits yesterday. He's got 10 hits in his last 12 games. Wearing a black sleeve on that left arm, the Adidas logo at his wrist. He bounces the bat off the left shoulder. At first is Urso. 1-0. Fastball, another one high. And the count, 2 balls and no strikes. Fans down the third base line and the first base line. The lights at full strength as the dark sky overhead creeps from right to left. The lights illuminating the field on this Friday night in Massachusetts. Romero's 2-0. Change up low. 3 balls and no strikes to Isaac Humphrey. A walk here would bring the tying run to the plate. And a big pitch here, Sam.
You don't want to put another guy on base in this ballpark. Anyone's a power threat. You don't want Jacob Stinson to be the tying run at home plate.
Romero throw back the first. Urso back in the hop. Only 1 stolen base for JD. No stolen bases for JD. Not a base stealing threat. He did steal 3 at Tampa in the spring. Stinson 3 for 21 in his career against the YD Red Sox. Romero trying to make it 3 for 22. 3-0. Fastball. Misses low.
Was that a balk?
No, a balk.
No pitch, I guess. I mean, that was split the plate pretty clearly down the middle. Jeff Merzell didn't make a call either way. Got back out of home plate and pointed the runner to second base. I guess it's no pitch.
So a balk on Ivan Romero. And a 3-0 count with a runner in scoring position for Isaac Humphreys. Urso moves back towards second as Romero steps off. And Sam, it's a YD team that has struggled on the mound. A lot of balks this summer.
Well, it's much more commonplace in college ball than it is in professional baseball.
Romero sets. He pauses, elongating that stop. 3-0. Fastball down Broadway. 3 balls and a strike. 2 outs, a runner at second. YD 3. The New Orleans Firebirds, none. The American flag in center blowing in strong. The bullpen for Orleans just to the right of it where there's a little bit of action going on. Romero's 3-1. Fastball misses inside. A 2-out walk puts 2 on, and the tying run comes to the plate. It's Jacob Stinson. The Birdman in his bright red bird costume. He's got a hood on with the eyes of the bird on the top of the hood and a long beak off the front in yellow, and then wears yellow boots. And the back of his bird costume is almost cape-like. Or think of a Batman or a Spider-Man costume where if you raise the wings, there's wings underneath.
Think he'd be able to glide?
I'd love to see them try. 2 on, 2 out for the lefty Stinson. Here in the bottom of the first, 3-0 YD. Romero deals. Stinson takes a change up low. 1 ball and no strikes.
Carlo, if you think back to Ivan Romero's last start of the regular season back in Falmouth, similar spot. He wound up loading the bases with 2 out. Gave up that big hit that wound up unloading the bases thanks to an error in center field. We're going to have a conversation between John Raiola and Ivan Romero as he's visited by a couple of teammates as well on the mound. Fernando Gonzalez heads out to the mound. Cole Carrick joins them.
There is action in the YD pen. We don't have the great vantage point down the third base line. We're kind of behind the dugout. But somebody is up and throwing.
Doesn't look like anyone's throwing, but there's some milling about in that bullpen. Not sure.
It's just Brady.
It might just be Brady.
I got
but
fooled. It's Brady.
One of the players had been up, moving around a little bit.
Brady, YD, super fan. You always got to double check.
And ball boy.
And
you don't want to just take batting practice with the team too. You don't want to jib him with his roles with the team.
I apologize.
And our writer Mike Wizengera is telling us he went down to check and he says it's just Brady. This is Ivern's spot right now. The Red Sox, after only getting one out of Bryce Robinson yesterday, they need some length out of the starting pitcher, at least 3-4 innings, you would imagine.
Urso in second, Humphrey at first. They both walked on. And Jacob Stinson is the tying run in a 3-0 YD lead in the bottom of the first. With 2 outs, here comes the 1-0. Fastball, misses low. 2 balls and no strikes, and the YD dugout starts emerging. They're not agreeing with this bottomless strike zone for Jeff Rizzo. No hits in the inning. Firebirds looking for runs in their white HDMH uniforms. The 2 fastball gets them to chase. Stinson late. They count 2 balls and away. 2 balls in the strike. Jacob Stinson out of Pleasanton, California. Went to Amador Valley High School. I played a lacrosse game at Amador Valley once. It's a very nice high school.
Thank you, Carlo.
Yeah,
I
you're welcome.
was curious.
In case you're wondering. Romero exhales with 2 on and 2 out. He does a double check the second. 2-1. Swing and a miss. Stinson late. Another fastball by him. And the count levels. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Big pitch here. Ivern a chance to get through the frame without any damage done. Stinson has struggled this summer, hitting just 1 at 70. More of a defensive player for the Firebirds, trying to get on board. Urso at second. At first, Humphrey with 2 outs. 2-2. Fastball high. Stinson doesn't chase. That one about eyebrow high, Sam. Usually want it a little lower to try to get a batter to chase.
Wouldn't call it non-competitive because that could have a purpose, especially if he takes something off, maybe get something a little lower in the strike zone. I mean, Ivern's got a good changeup. He's throwing 3 straight fastballs. You wonder if he goes to that changeup now.
Crowd clapping around, trying to cheer on Jacob Stinson. 2-1 to 3-2. Swing and a miss. He chases the fastball and strikes out. Ivern Romero leaves 2 stranded and strikes out Stinson. We head to the second inning. We've played 30 minutes of baseball, and we're through a frame here at Eldridge Park. It's 3-0. YD leads Orleans.
This is going to be a long game now, isn't it?
Bro, tell me my Birdman costume description wasn't spot on.
Wear yellow chucks.
2 thoughts. Thank you, Orleans, for batting Jacob Stinson 5th.
He sucks, bro. Dude, he get hit the ball. I would have punched you in the face.
I miss having a multiple camera page, but
You want to do Cape Cod Bet?
I'll do it.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, baby. You do it.
I'm going to work in a Six Flags reference.
No, please don't. No Six Flags.
Guys, I've got to work in a Six Flags reference. More taste for one. All right. Let's, yeah. Cape Cod Veterinary Specialists offer premier emergency and specialty care for your pet when it matters most. Located in Buzzards Bay, Dennis. Learn more at CapeCodVetSpecialists.com. That's CapeCodVetSpecialists.com. We go to the top of the second. Red Sox got 3 in the top of the first after giving up 6 in the top of the first yesterday. It is game 2 of the playoffs, and Carlo Jimenez is here for the play-by-play.
Thanks so much, Sam. And hope you're strapped in. 30 minutes to go through the first. We are set for a long one here at Eldridge Park. 9-1-2 due up in the top of the second. Fernando Gonzalez, Cole Carrig, and Woody Haydeen as the Red Sox look to add to their 3-0 lead. They were aided by 3 errors by the Orleans Firebirds in that top of the first. A couple of them awfully tough. Fernando batting from the right side. Holds the bat over his right shoulder. The lefty shields back out for his second inning of work. Opening offering. Gonzalez belts one into center field. That's a base hit. Fernando Gonzalez has 7 hits in 7 straight starts. And he's on to begin the top of the second.
You see Fernando Gonzalez in the lineup, and it feels like you can pencil him in for at least 1 hit every single time. He always just finds that 1 single at least. And Fernando's been swinging a much better bat than earlier in the season, proving that he's not just a defensive catcher. And a big tack-on run for the Red Sox to lead off this inning, potentially there at first base.
The average that was at one time at 119 is now over 200 for Fernando Gonzalez. He leads at first, not base-stealing speed, and sets the table for the right-handed bat of Cole Carrig. First pitch home. Carrig takes a changeup in there. 1 ball and no strikes. The Gonzalez hit the 4th of the game for YD. out for Woody Hayden.
And that ball was smoked off the bat of Cole Carrig, a sinking line drive that Luke Keischel really had no chance on. Only chance was to get in front of it and get that ball into the infield as soon as possible because Gonzalez was off with the pitch. A successful hit and run by the Red Sox.
So the wind blowing in, and the right-handed bat of Hayden looks on. Open stance with dark brown hair flowing out of the back of his helmet. Shields looks at second, deals the first pitch home. Hayden bunts it back towards Shields, down the third base line. Shields picks it up with a bare hand and doesn't have a plate at first. Hayden is safe. A bunt single. 3 straight hits. The bases are loaded for Braden Montgomery.
And that's 2 infield singles for Woody Hayden.
At third, Fernando Gonzalez. And second, Cole Carrig. At first, Woody Hayden. 3-0 YD leads, trying to sweep the Orleans Firebirds in this 3-game set. They won their first game in 13 days at 12:20 today. After yesterday's contest was paused in the 8th, picked up today at noon. We're playing again here at Eldridge, starting at 6:30. Right into bat, Montgomery looks on. Shields sets, first pitch down the hill. Montgomery looks at a slider that misses inside, and Braden in those Cardinal red Stanford shoes has to move out of the way. And it looks like, Sam, Braden Montgomery, the Pac-12 Freshman of the Year, has a new bat, bright gold, that he holds in his hands. 1-0 downhill, and he has to back out of the way. A fastball misses inside, 2 balls and no strikes.
Interesting look of a baseball bat. I'm not sure I've ever seen one used in a game quite like that. It looks almost like a metal bat.
Like a trophy, something you would give out to the best hitter.
Like the gold equivalent of the Silver Slugger Award.
Shields sets with the bases loaded. Here's the 2-0. Montgomery swings and misses through a fastball, trying to send that into orbit. 2 balls and a strike. Nobody out. Bases loaded. 3-0 YD. We are in the top of the second.
Carlo, Braden Montgomery, last time the Red Sox played in this ballpark as a right-hand hitter, almost left the ballpark to the opposite field. Was robbed in a nice play by Isaac Humphrey.
Shields peeks over the top of his black glove. He gets the sign from Burns and accepts it. Reveals his face. The 2-1. Swing and a miss. Montgomery chases a curveball. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. The fans down the first base line here at Eldridge Park and on the berm behind their dugout, hoping this is not the final home game of the summer for the Orleans Firebirds. They would need a win today and a win tomorrow to secure that. The wind blowing in slightly from center. Bases juice, nobody out, 3-0 Red Sox. Shields, 2-2. Montgomery bends out of the way again as he spikes a curveball. 3 balls and 2 strikes with nowhere to put Brady Montgomery. Sam, this is the 19th game for Montgomery. He's got 19 RBIs. He's been a machine at bringing batters in. Just got to get one into the outfield to score a run.
And somehow without an RBI and a 12-run outburst for the Red Sox in Game 1, his biggest contribution came on the mound.
Shields trying to clean things up, play the garbage man here at Eldridge Park. 3-2 pitch. Montgomery swings and misses through a high fastball. And there's the 4th strikeout for Ben Shields, and it's a big one as it puts one away and leaves everyone where they are. Here's Hayden shot.
Every single out Shields has recorded has been on the strikeout. It's been the balls in play that have killed him so far. The Red Sox have not been retired when they put a ball into the field of play.
Left-handed bat of Hayden shot out of Columbia looks on. He had 2 RBIs yesterday in the Game 1 win. First pitch to him, and he swings and taps one down the first base line. Charging the first baseman, hot feet. He fumbles the ball. Scoring from third is Gonzalez. Everyone is safe again. 4-0 YD in the top of the second on what could be the 4th error of the game. For the Orleans Firebirds, it is. And the Red Sox keep them loaded with 1 out. That's an E3. It's been sloppy baseball by the home team, and Sam, the Red Sox taking advantage.
And that's a tough play for Tommy Hoffey, who hasn't played a lot in the field this year. Two-way guy when he's batted. He's mostly been at DH.
Left-handed bat of Bovey looks on. He struck out his last time up. Carrig now at third. First pitch. Mike takes a fastball for a strike on the outside part of the plate. And at second, Woody Hayden at first. Hayden shot. Great speed at third. Pretty good speed at second and decent speed at first. A little bit of an exponential decrease as you go from third to first on the base pass. 4-0 YD. 1 out from the top of the second inning. Shields 0-1 to Bovey. And he takes a curveball in the dirt. Good block by Burns as he uses that Long Beach State chest protector and keeps it in front of him. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. 3 on the base pass. Bovey, an extra base hit yesterday, his first in 2 weeks. Red Sox picked up their first win in 2 weeks today. Getting 3 outs in the top of the 9th to come away with a 12-11 comeback win.
We've got a warning there, a balk warning on the pitch.
I've seen 1 balk on Ivan Romero. That was in the bottom of the first. 4 runs for the Whitey Red Sox, looking for more with 1 out in the top of the second. 1-1. Bovey swings and misses. He chases a slider. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Shields getting a lot of whiffs, Sam, with the 4 errors on the board by his defense looming large.
Good things that happen when the Red Sox have put the ball in play, and Bovey's got to fight out of this 1-2 hole, try to find a way to get another run home.
The wind has died down, the sky opening up and left, and the Eldridge Park crowd quiet. 1-2 to Bovey, and he takes a slider that bounces in the dirt. Connor Burns active behind home plate. He blocks that one. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Burns has done a really nice job. Anything that's been spiked by Shields, he has swallowed up right in front of him. And has probably saved at least another run just in this sequence alone.
Red Sox already up 4-0, but a big hit from Bovey and put Crooked number up on the board. In the top of the second, 2-2. Bovey takes a curveball low and another full count. Second time, Mike's been in a full count with Ben Shields. Last time, Sam, Shields showed him the fastball. Bovey half swung and stalled out by the third base umpire, Joe Lebowitz.
See what they go back to. He's not really attempted to chase after these last two off-speed pitches. Has got him swinging on a slider. They set back, though.
In at first, the first baseman, Hoppy, his toes on the infield grass. Full count, bases loaded, 1 out. For the Nebraska Summit League Player of the Year, Mike Bovey. Here's the 3-2. Bovey swings and just gets a piece as the ball falls out of the glove of the catcher, Connor Burns. Mike, who walks over towards the grass down the first base line with a big exhale, stays alive.
Got that slider. They did go back to the spinner, and Mike threw the bat out at it and barely made contact with it, but a good job fighting to see another pitch.
See, they give him the slider again. It's Carrick at third, Hayden at second. Great speed there. And Hayden shot over at first. Bovey stands still in the batter's box. Here comes the 3-2. Mike rolls one on the ground, past the diving glove of Hoppy. It bounces off his glove, carries in from third. Mike's safe at first. Another run comes across. It's 5-0 YD. A hit for Mike Bovey. They marked an RBI, and the Red Sox adding more here in the top of the second. On the infield knock, Hoppy was there. Sam tried to make a terrific play and got his leather on it, but ricocheted away from the other fielders who had any chance of throwing anybody out.
Diving to his right on that play, got leather on it, but once he didn't pick it cleanly, he was not going to have it out anywhere as it trickled about 2 feet away from him, no one else in the neighborhood.
Right in the bat of Homer Bush Jr. looks towards Shields as the merry-go-round continues. First pitch down the hill. Bush swings and misses at a high fastball. No balls and 1 strike. 7 hits, 5 runs. The Red Sox from Yarmouth Dennis. Top of the second, and YD looking to sweep the series with the Orleans Firebirds and go to the Eastern Division Finals, facing either Brewster or Harwich. 0-1. Fastball catches the top of the zone. No balls and 2 strikes. It's Hayden at third. Shot at second. Bovey at first. Everybody, except Caden Connor in this lineup, has reached via either an error, fielder's choice, or a hit. We're not even 2 times through. 0-2. Swing and a miss. Chasing a changeup. Homer Bush Jr. strikes out. Ben Shields has recorded 5 outs. He's had to do it all himself, all via the strikeout. And with 2 outs and the base is still loaded, here's Johnny Long, who had a grand slam yesterday, and just 20 minutes ago had a 2 RBI single with the bases loaded. Right-handed batter looks in. 2 outs, top of the second, 5-0 Red Sox. With 2 runs across, they're looking to add more. Flag blows gently in from right center, opening offering to the ready. He takes a curveball, then misses low and in. 1 ball and no strikes.
As of right now, only 2 of the 5 runs against Ben Shields are earned.
Shields came into this outing nearly untouchable. He had not given up an earned run in his last 11 innings of work. He's trying to get through 2. 1 out along. And he swings and drives one into center field. The center fielder Stinson started back, now comes in and camps out under it to make the catch. 8 comes to the plate, 3 hits, 2 across, 3 left on, and YD leads 5-0 as we head to the bottom of the second. The Red Sox jumping on the Firebirds on the road. Nice, dude.
The way that it took 16 batters for them to record an out on a ball in play.
Thank you, Danie. We might be all right. I really gotta go poop. We're doing audition, right? We're all good with that? Let's go, Danie. Always on top. I don't even know why I asked. Just my own peace of mind because I get nervous.
I will say that the audition did fall for a little while, but I just think it happened.
I wonder why I fell.
I think I might have, because I was trying to listen to the stream, maybe I couldn't pull it up on YouTube because it closed.
Oh, so the audio
I
hardware?
plugged in the headphones, the audio must have stopped it,
Yeah.
but it's running now, so.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Nope, stop. Okay, I do it.
All
I
good.
should know my mark.
All good, all good. These innings are too long for taking you guys. Oh, we'll do it next. Bring me back, Danie. We welcome you back to Eldridge Park here on the Cape Cod Broadcast Network. Carlo Jimenez alongside my partner, Sam Lebowitz. 5-0. The YD Red Sox lead the Orleans Firebirds in Game 2 of the Eastern Division semifinals. Connor Burns, Logan Deere, Tommy Hoppy do up against the righty Romero. First pitch, fastball at the knees for a strike. So we begin bottom of the second. Ivan, who rocks back and forth atop the mound, never standing still, Sam. And rest in front, kicks, 0-1. Swing and miss. Burns chases another fastball. Quickly, no balls and 2 strikes. He was underneath that one, elevated at his neck.
And we don't have a radar in front of us, but Romero was only throwing about 86 miles an hour in that 2-inning start in Falmouth last week. Today, it looks like he's throwing much harder.
The 0-2. Fastball off the outer edge. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
He normally sits in that 88 to 92 range. Feels like that those 86s he was pumping in Falmouth were an aberration.
Wind blowing out to left. Dark clouds in right. Blue skies in left. 1-2. Burns taps one back to the screen. Off the mask of Fernando Gonzalez. Ivan looks towards Fernando. Gives him a thumbs up. Fernando gives him a nod. Gonzalez, as there are many catchers, the toughest player day to day, taking damage against his body on his team.
When you're like Fernando and you want to be involved in the game in every facet, every potential way, that's the sacrifice you make for being behind the dish every day.
1-2. Burns fights off a curveball as he fouls it onto the berm. The right field berm is full here at Eldridge Park. There is not any space for lawn chairs or beach towels. Some fans are resting atop the right field fence, their arms on top of the yellow piping above that fence. 1-2 from Romero. Burns gets a piece of another slider and fouls it off down the right field line. He steps out of the batter's box. In his Long Beach State cleats, his college teammate at first, and Johnny Long. Nobody out, nobody on. 5-0 YD. We're in the bottom of the second inning. 1-2. Burns looks at the fastball high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. With nobody out. And the base is cleared. The Red Sox have swept Orleans. And the last 2 times they faced them in the playoffs. They're looking to do it 3 times in a row. 2-2. Burns swings and misses. Chases the fastball and strikes out. Third strikeout for Ivor Romero. And he starts the second inning how he ended the first with a swinging strike 3. Connor Burns, who had been dangerous against this YD team. He sits down, and here's Logan Beard making his playoff debut. Beard out of Louisville, an exercise science major. And a right-handed batter digs in. Pink wrist tape on both of his wrists as he holds the bat out in front. Romero's pitch. Bird appraises a fastball that misses inside. 1 ball and no strikes with 1 out and nobody out. 5-0 YD. These 2 teams played 6 hours ago. 1-0. Swing and a miss. Beard chases the fastball. And the count 1 ball, 1 strike with 1 out. And Sam, we showed up to that ballpark at 11 o'clock, probably the earliest we've been at Red Wilson for a 12 o'clock first pitch for half an inning. 1-1. Romero paints a fastball on the outer edge. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
I'd say easily the earliest we've been at Red Wilson Field over the entire summer.
After the game was called through 8 yesterday, had to make up the 9th. There was a 12-11 Red Sox lead. They were able to get 3 outs thanks to Brandon Montgomery. Here's the 1-2. Beard takes that one on his left elbow. Got him right on his elbow guard. He jogs down to first. That's what the elbow guard's for. And with 1 out, a runner reaches. The YD pitching staff known for hitting a few too many batters. They lead the Cape in hitting opposing teams' batters. And there's 1 on with 1 out. 5-0 YD leads in the bottom of the second. Here's the switch hitter. Batting from the left side, Tommy Humphrey. Ivern has allowed 3 batters to reach, 2 walks, and now a hit by pitch. Humphrey stares in out of Fresno State. Romero kicks and deals. Humphrey takes a strike on the outer edge. There's the changeup. And the count, no balls and 1 strike. Logan Beard has stolen 1 base this summer. He leads at first. His arms dangle in front of his uniform in between his kneecaps. 1 out, 1 on. Romero with a long hold, trying to switch up his looks on 1. And a swing at a liner down the left field line foul. Fastball fought off. No balls and 2 strikes quickly to Tommy Humphrey. Humphrey is swinging the wood for just the 7th time this summer. He's only batted in 7 games. Red Sox saw him pitch yesterday. 2-8 guy. Romero's 0-2. And Humphrey fights off a fastball over Route 28. No balls and 2 strikes with 1 out. But Sam, the Red Sox might not know that because they've seen Tommy Humphrey swing the bat 3 different games.
He's the H against YD, and he hasn't done a whole lot on the offensive side.
He levitates that over that left shoulder with a Beard at first. 5-0 Red Sox, bottom of the second, 0-2. He fights off another fastball. There's a house behind Depot Road down the third base line that's being peppered with Cape League baseballs right now.
Lots of souvenirs from various potential future major leaguers.
Wearing the camouflage gloves with Ray underneath. Tommy Humphrey just 1 hit in 28 at-bats. Looking for his second. The 0-2. And he takes a changeup, misses away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Humphrey at Bakersfield, California. Logan Beard was hit by a pitch. He's at first. The bottom of the lineup saying that altogether, no one hitting above 200. Trying to create some offense down 5-0. 1-2. Humphrey gets a piece, but it pops out of the glove of Gonzalez. And the count holds at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Humphrey's 1 hit this summer came against Chatham. That was on July 25th. Sam, I know that this isn't the only game going on. After this 1-2 pitch, you want to tell me what else is happening in the playoffs on Cape Cod?
Oh, absolutely, Carlo. It'd be my pleasure.
Beard at first, with black sleeves underneath his white uni. Romero's 1-2, swinging a ground ball up the middle. Hayden, the shortstop, charges, steps on second, goes to first, in time for the out. Romero turns 2 on a ground ball up the middle, and we'll get to the scores around the Cape after this break. But first, as a proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League, the Mass State Lottery is so many games we love playing for the baseball diamond. There's the many lottery games that support all 351 cities and towns across the Commonwealth. So here's the 50 years winning and 50 more. We'll see you on the flip side. YD leading 5-0 over Orleans through 2. Who's there? A lot of blowouts.
So Katsui got up 7-0 on Hyannis still there. Melvin was up 7-0 on Ford, now it's down 3 back. And
Josh just told us that everybody has to be through for us to play, both divisions. So if these guys don't sweep,
that's true, I guess Hyannis is more. As long as
one team doesn't sweep, we are off tomorrow.
go,
We still have to win today. Still have to win today. Yeah, bring it back. Yeah.
Well, hello from Captain Parker's Pub over in West Dartmouth on Route 28. The entire crew from Captain Parker's wants to give a big salute to the Cape Cod Baseball League, especially young players who have dedicated so much time and effort to baseball, America's pastime. So join us for lunch or dinner or just a bowl of our famous clam chowder. Captain Parker's easy to find but awfully hard to lead. We go to the third. It's been an action-packed start to this ball game, and most of that has been in favor of the Red Sox. They lead 5-0, and here for the play-by-play is Carlo Jimenez.
Thank you so much, Sam Lebowitz. Did a great job on that read, by the way. Fantastic work. For the Mighty Red Sox, as we begin the top of the third, it's Caden Connor, Fernando Gonzalez, and the leadoff hitter Cole Carey. 7 hits, 5 runs for YD, and they're looking for more offense on a cloudy and windy Friday night here in Orleans, Massachusetts. Connor holds the bat over his left shoulder. The left-handed batter looks up. Left-handed pitcher shields, deals, and Caden takes a slider at the top of the zone. No balls and 1 strike. And Sam, why don't you update me on what's going on around Cape Cod?
Well, since Red Sox turned a double play in the last inning before we had a chance to give you the scores, I think now's the optimal time to get it out of the way at the start of the half inning.
I love it. Give it to me. After this 0-1 pitch, of course, to Caden Connor. A front door slider. And the count 3 balls and 2 strikes. YD with a 7-run comeback yesterday. They scored 9 in a row. We're down 10-3, took a 12-10 lead, and hung on to a 12-11 win to take game 1 in a marathon that ended this morning. 3-2 to Gonzalez. And he swings and drives one into left field. It hangs up there for the left fielder, Keishel. He starts back, comes in, and makes the catch for out number 2. 3 straight flyouts induced by Ben Shields. And in stands Cole Carrig, who's 1 for 2 with a single and a run.
Much needed first 2 outs recorded in this inning for Ben Shields, who's dealing with a lot of traffic. As 10 of the first 16 batters in this game reached against him. And 4 errors in the field, obviously, hurting him early in this ballgame.
Right-handed bat of Carrig looks towards the lefty Shields. First pitch down the hill. Bolt takes a curveball away. 1 ball and no strikes. The Red Sox began their season way back on June 12th here at Orleans. It was a 4-4 tie, and Cole Carrig had his only home run of the summer over the fence and left. See if he can do it again. He's got power in that bat. Shields well. Carrig bounces 1 foul. Third base side. 1 ball, 1 strike. The dark clouds in right have turned almost an orangey color as the sun sets in right. There's a blue sky in left. It's almost an interesting juxtaposition, Sam. Pretty much down the middle from home to second to center field is a split. Dark skies in right, blue skies in left. Picturesque. The 1-1. Carrig takes fastball low. 2 balls and a strike.
It's a great way to describe it, Carlo. It's almost as if the light pole in straightaway center is separating the 2 different versions of sky we have above us.
The light in the dark. Carrig trying to board with 2 outs. In the top of the 3rd, 5-0 Whitey leads. 2-1. Cole bounces 1 to third base. McCleary scooped it up on the short hop. His start of first a little low, but in time, Cole got down. 4 in a row retired by Ben Shields, who's trying to find a rhythm here at Eldridge Park. We head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. It's 5-0. Whitey leads Orleans as they go in order for the first time today. Have fun. Thanks, brother. No.
Look, I don't know a lot of gaslighting myself, and I'll be quick to recognize it, I promise.
I swear Josh texted me, but like now the text isn't here. Oh, you're right. I was looking at one with Josh and Johnny, and then I was looking at one with just Josh. 50-50 was $1,000 last time. Should buy. Dude, $1,000 at a 50-50? That's hella money. All right, Danny, bring it back. We welcome you back to the 3rd inning here at Eldridge Park. The Whitey Red Sox look to punch their ticket to the Eastern Division Finals. With a win today, they would sweep the Orleans Firebirds in a 3-game set. And right now, a good start for the visitors, leading 5-0 in the bottom of the 3rd. 2 up for Orleans. It's 9-1-2. And Nick McCleary, the right-handed batter, digs in. Keishel and Urso do up as well. First pitch down the hill. And McCleary takes a strike at the knees. Curveball finds the zone. No balls and 1 strike. Red Sox have been aided by 4 errors by the Orleans Firebirds. 3 of those were in the first frame. Meanwhile, Ivan Romero has not allowed a hit. The 0-1. McCleary lifts one into left, and there's the first hit. Curling down the left field line, it hits the wall. McCleary holds it first as the left fielder, Caden Connor, is able to track it down, and his throw in is cut off by Cole Carrig. 1 on with nobody out here in the bottom of the 3rd. So Nick McCleary reaches with just his 11th hit of the summer. And in stands Luke Keishel, the right-handed batter, playing his 46th game. He's played the most games on Cape of anybody. Every single one for these Orleans Firebirds. Runner at first, nobody out. Orleans trying to cut into the lead. First pitch, and the righty pops one up. 3rd base side towards the Whitey dugout. Going back the catcher Gonzalez. And it lands right in front of the Whitey dugout, and it seems like the Red Sox are a little confused. Some of the Whitey dugout yelled out, and so Gonzalez didn't chase, and the ball just landed. McCleary at first, 1 stolen base this summer for him. 5-0 Whitey. We're in the bottom of the 3rd with nobody out. No balls and 1 strike to Keishel. 45-degree stands for Luke. Bounces that off the right shoulder. Romero checks, deal 1. Keishel takes, fastball high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Or 1 ball and 1 strike, excuse me. And Sam Lebowitz, Keishel really the Iron Man of this Orleans team. When you think of Orleans, you think of Luke Keishel.
Just one of 2 guys who played all 44 this year on Cape Cod entirely.
1-1, and he rolls 1 to 3rd. Bobby tries to pick it on the high hop. The 3rd baseman does. Throw to first. Pops out of the glove of Carrig. And safe at second is McCleary. But did they call him out? They did. They called the misstep on the exchange. And rain starts to fall here at Eldridge Park lightly. And the Orleans fans not happy with that last call. Sam, what did you see? Was that on the exchange?
Frankly, I think you could have called it either way. It looked to me as if Carrig never really had a chance to reach in to the glove to make the exchange. So I think there's a chance he did just not catch that baseball cleanly.
The light rain starts to come down, and here's the right-handed bat of J.D. Urso. The runner at first and 1 out, 5-0 YD, bottom 3. The pitch, fastball, misses away. 1 ball and no strikes.
How about the pick, though, by Mike Bovey? The short hop moving to his left, and then a quick throw to second base right on the mark. Red Sox had a chance to turn that ball over for a double play.
Keishel with good speed, leads at first. A rip in the left knee of his white pants. A 1-0 is a fastball that catches the outer edge. 1 ball and 1 strike with 1 out as the rain starts to come down a little harder. Keishel with 6 stolen bases this summer. J.D. Urso looks on, looking for his first hit. He walked his first time up. And the flag blows in slightly from center, and the rain starts to come down a little harder. Bottom 3, 1-on-1 out, 1-1. Fastball low. And the count, 1 ball, 2 balls, and 1 strike. Things are starting to get wet here at Eldridge Park. Again, the clouds are really only on the right side of the field. Down the left field line is clear skies. 2-1. Urso curls one into right field. Going back to right field. Brandon Montgomery looking up. It bounces over the wall. Stopping at third is Keishel. On to second goes Urso on the automatic double. There's 2 in scoring position with 1 out. And this Orleans crowd that has been quiet for most of the game starting to get on their feet as they have something to cheer about. The second hit of the day, the first extra base hit, is off the bat of J.D. Urso. 2 in scoring position with just 1 out in the bottom of the third. And here's the right-handed bat of Drew Matsdorf. The dark skies in right starting to clear up. A orange haze underneath. Whitey with 2 runs, 3 runs in the first, 2 in the second to work a 5-0 lead, but they themselves were down 7 yesterday and came back. No lead is safe in this playoff series. Orleans wins a game 3 tomorrow for all the Mogos. First pitch to Larry Mitchell, and he grounds one up the middle, charging it short. Hayden has it on the short out. He'll go to first. In time for the out. Keishel comes home and scores. It's an RBI ground out for Drew Metzdorf. On to third goes J.D. Urso, and Orleans is on the board. 5-1 the score at the bottom of the third.
Good situational hitting, and Orleans has to take a page out of the Red Sox book from yesterday. That can't get all back at once. Down 5 after 2 innings. Just chip away. And a nice job there to get the first one home.
Left-handed bat of Humphrey looks on. Coming off his 4th multi-hit game of the summer. Black arm sleeve on that left arm as Romero deals with the runner at third and 2 away. 5-1 YD, bottom 3. The pitch. Humphrey takes a fastball for a strike. The count of balls and 1 strike at about mid-thigh height. Let's go Firebirds chance down the third base line. Fans still staying despite the rain down that first base line on the legendary burn here at Eldridge Park. The wind blowing in from center. Romero's 0-1. Swing and a miss. Chasing the changeup quickly. No balls and 2 strikes to Humphrey, who walked his last time up. 2 hits, 1 run in the inning for Orleans. On an RBI sacrifice ground down from Drew Metzdorf. Picked up his 11th, brought in this summer. 2 outs, the 0-2. Ground ball off the right leg of Romero towards second. Carrot, the second baseman scoops. Goes to first. In time, they got him. What a play by Cole Carrick to save a run. And that leaves 1 stranded on 2 hits. Orleans picks up a singleton, but that is all. We head to the 4th inning. 5-1. YD leads here at Eldridge Park.
Cool.
That sucked. That could have been a tape inning, but I was so thrown off.
By the siren?
The siren, the rain, the exchange.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Is this a new pitcher?
Yeah.
39.
Want me to look?
Yeah.
Dude, what is this? There was not rain in the forecast.
I know. I mean, it's like not really,
It's like playable rain.
it says it's in the forecast for the next hour. It's going to get worse, too.
Who is this?
It's getting worse.
Who is this?
39.
I don't have a 39.
Conti. He's at the bottom. Oh, he's right at the number, I guess. What's the ad read? We did MP Sports Cards?
Yeah.
Can we come back, Danny? MP Sports Cards is proud to sponsor the Kids Baseball Clinic. If you're a sports card collector, be sure to stop by and check out the latest releases, graded cards, supplies, and more. Local favorite for hobby enthusiasts across Massachusetts and, of course, the Cape Cod Baseball League. Stop in our store, mention code Red Sox to get 1 free pack of 2022 baseball update with any purchase. Some exclusions apply. Visit at 71 Main Street in Carver, Massachusetts, or online at mpsportscards.com. Dodging some raindrops here as we enter the 4th inning at Eldridge Park in Game 2 of the first round of the Cape Cod Baseball League playoffs. Moving from right to left above us. 2-1 to Hayden. Squares the bunt, pulls it back, and takes a fastball inside. The count 3-1 on him. Another switch hitter in Montgomery to follow.
Well, the way the games have gone between these 2 teams, Sam, we should have expected the unexpected.
Red Sox dealt with some unexpected rain earlier this week. 3-1. Clipped him inside. Got him. Would have been ball 4. Instead, it hits off the elbow guard softly before entering the mitt of the catcher, Connor Burns. Call it hit by pitch. Would have been a walk. Where you call it. At first base for YD to begin this top of the 4th inning.
Hayden has reached in all 3 at-bats now. The pair of singles. He did steal a base last time too, Sam, off Connor Burns, something only 13 people have been able to do. We'll see if they send him again.
Eventually scored the first run of this game after stealing and advancing a 3rd on an error. First pitch to Montgomery, a fastball that hits the inside corner. The count 0-1 on Braden. Braden reached on an error. That drove home the game's first run. Is also struck out. And Shields went the first 3 innings. Only 2 of the 5 runs on the scoreboard are earned. Before the 1-0 check on Haydeen, he's back standing. No attack by the first baseman, Tommy Hoppe. Still a big crowd here in Orleans in the second game of potentially 3 in this first round of the CCBL playoffs. 0-1. This is inside a fastball. The count is 1-1 on Montgomery. The Red Sox, in case you weren't familiar, they came from behind yesterday. Once trailed 6-0 and 10-3, they won 12-11 in a game that took 2 innings to complete. Why? I'll tell you after this 1-1 on its way. Swing and a miss, foul tipped into the glove of Burns. The fastball. Montgomery came up empty. The count 1-2 on Braden. Well, we were playing at Red Wilson Field in South Yarmouth, home of the Red Sox, place where there's no lights, a long game, a 12-11 score, and eventually it got too dark to complete, but we don't call games early in CCBL playoffs. We had to pick it up today at noon. 1-2, taken. In there for a called strike 3, a fastball at the knees. Montgomery set aside. Second time Braden struck out. He's the first out here in the top of the 4th with Woody Haydeen over at first base.
And I got to give a shout out to boy Josh Wan with the league. He told me, I was asking him, because of the rain here, Sam, would there be a rain out in a makeup game? We would just hit pause. So the 5 runs on the board count for YD whether we have to hit pause. Because of the rain, there's no rain out and restart.
Here's Haydeen's shot, left-hand hitter. Left on left situation, 5-0. Red Sox top 4-1 out. First pitch up and in, fastball. The count 1-0 on Haydeen. Haydeen, a single reach on error, drove run. He's also scored. Columbia Lion with a mane of blonde hair coming out of the back of his navy blue helmet. Holds his hands low. 1-0 is ripped up the middle, gets by the mound, and shreds into center field. A base hit. Up to the second goes Haydeen, stopping at first with his second hit of the day. And that one almost gave Sam Conti a haircut. Haydeen shot, stands aboard.
Hayden's seeing ball up there. Both his hits have been barreled up. And Sam, really, it's been a collection of Red Sox that have sparked this offense in these last 2 days. No one player playing extremely well. Everybody contributed.
Here's Mike Bovey, a guy who contributed in game 1 with 3 base hits. He stands in the left-hand batter's box. Runners on first and second. Bovey struck out an RBI single today in his 2 trips. 5-0 Red Sox. A chance for more here in the 4th with 1 out and 2 aboard. First pitch skips into the dirt. A fastball and Burns stops it with the backhand. Knocks it in front of the plate. No advance by Woody Haydeen, an exceptionally fast runner at second. And an average runner at first. Haydeen shot. Infield plays Bovey straight up. Mike in the playoff opener, his first 3-hit game since back on June the 20th. Bovey started the season very strong. That was a minor injury. He slumped through the middle of the year. 1-0. Up and away, a fastball. The count is 2-0 on Mike. Haydeen already has a stolen base. Carlo, you mentioned that earlier in this inning. He stands aboard second. But Burns, considered a very good defensive catcher for Long Beach State, behind the dish.
Big West Defensive Player of the Year.
Has shown that off multiple times this summer against YD. The 2-0 is inside. Bends Bovey back at the hips. And the count is 3-0 on Mike. Mike, the Summit League Player of the Year.
That's kind of the beauty of the Cape, Sam. Everybody who's played some sort of spring award. I mean, you're looking at the best talent in college baseball.
Bovey has show flashes of wide. 3-0. Fastball. He missed away for ball 4. Mike takes a 4-pitch walk. And for the 3rd inning out of 4, the Red Sox have the bases loaded. And Homer Bush will bat as we'll have a visit from the Orleans pitching coach before the righty stick of Bush stands in.
There's been traffic all day on these base paths for the Red Sox. If the bases stay loaded again, Johnny Long would come up for the 3rd time with the bases loaded.
And Johnny, he batted with the bases loaded yesterday. And the grand slam.
Just think about the opportunities this Whitey team has had. And Sam, to no surprise, they don't have an extra base hit. But they loaded the bases 3 times in 4 innings.
8 hits, 4 errors, 3 of them on balls in play. One of them throwing error that aided a stolen base attempt. That's 3 free base runners on errors. You add in that Bovey, his walk, the first walk of the game. That's another free runner there. They hit by a pitch earlier in the inning. The Red Sox, as has been the case when they played their best baseball this summer, taking what the opponents give them. They have the bases loaded with 1 out. They lead 5-0 here in the top of the 4th. Playoff game 2. A win today would send the Firebirds home. And Sam Conti, the left-hander out of Trinity, trying to avoid that outcome and keep this game right where it stands. He's offensive chance. First pitch to Bush. He swings, he grounds it to the right side. Urso plays it, pips to second. His throw second. McCleary pulls him off the bat. He dives back to the base and gets the force. A run comes home from 3rd. That's Haydeen. Up to 3rd goes shot. Save aboard at first is Homer Bush. And the Red Sox, they lead 6-0.
Well, a fantastic play up the middle to keep that without no outs getting across.
Check that 6-1, excuse me.
The Red Sox, Sam, you get the bases loaded, you need to manufacture runs, and that's what they're able to do.
Credit to Nick McCleary. That was an outstanding play just to get it out there. As Urso, his spinning throw away from the plate, pulled McCleary towards center field. He dove back to the bag and touched it with his glove. Here's Johnny Long on the right-hand hitter, runs the corners. 6-1 Red Sox, 2 outs, top 4. First pitch is taking a fastball from the left-hander. The count is 0-1. Johnny today continues to swing a hot bat. A single and a flyout. He's driven in 2 with that first inning single. 10 with the bases loaded. Red Sox scored 3 in the opening inning, added 2 in the second. A run here and 4th, a chance for more. 0-1 along. He swings and foul, tips one, laid on a fastball into the glove. Connor Burns. The count is 0-2. And Burns will step out all time from back beyond home plate and flash some signs to his infielders. Homer Bush, an exceptionally fast runner. The fastest runner, maybe on Cape Cod, but certainly in this Red Sox dugout. Stands at first base with a runner on 3rd and Haydeen shot. Long his grand slam yesterday, got the Red Sox back in that game. Chance to blow it open here. 0-2. Up and in a fastball. The count is 1-2 on Johnny. A pair of Long Beach State dirt bags in that circle of dirt around home plate. In the batter's box, Johnny Long behind home plate catcher Connor Burns.
And Burns has the freedom to call this game, so he gets to pick if they're along.
Before 1-2, they'll check on Homer Bush. A head first dive back safely. Tommy Hoppe had to secure the throw in his lap with 2 hands. The fans here in Orleans have not dissipated despite some raindrops falling. Slowed down a tad. We're expecting just a little more precipitation this evening. Runners on the corners, 1-2 long. Is put up in the air, high and shallow to center. Jacob Stinson in, sees it all the way. Now does he see it? He finds it. After staggering, makes the 2-hand catch and ends the inning. The Red Sox will have a run. Could have had more, but they extend their lead to 6-1 as we go to the bottom of the 4th here at Eldridge Park in Game 2 of the playoffs. Red Sox trying to sweep the Firebirds. We'll be right back. Okay, we're good.
Dang, I feel like
You're good.
I could have used more, but
Yeah, we could have gotten more. I feel like that was good.
yeah, no.
If I said 6-1, it would be better. Damn. Oh, absolutely. What ad read do we have?
We have. You want me to do it?
Sure. What is it?
Richard Friday.
Yes. It's Richard Price.
It's middle four.
Oh, okay. Good scene.
Where's he? 5-1 Brewster. Alright, he's got 2 pitches left.
Yeah, let's go.
Red Shirt Fridays is a national program created to acknowledge, honor, and support our troops and first responders who put themselves in harm's way to defend our freedom. As part of this program, they're given to Red Sox and all K-League teams who are wearing a specially designed red jersey every Friday. These are brought to you by Zephyr Hats, the Massachusetts State Lottery, and OT Sports. The bottom of the 4th inning is right now, and he'll tell you all about what's going on in the playoffs. It's Sam Lebowitz.
Thanks so much, Carlo. Jacob Stinson, Connor Burns, Logan Beard will
Play it cleanly. The defense behind Romero has been fantastic here today.
right on right. First pitch to Burns. Slider that drops over the inside corner. And the count 0-1 to the Long Beach Saint Dirtbag, who has done some of his best hitting in what's been normally a pretty poor offensive season for Burns against these YD Red Sox. The ball's in a strike. And Burns pops it up. He's got 3 homers against the Red Sox this summer. This won't be one of them. In foul territory, Mike Obi can make the catch. He adjusted late to it, jumped back to try to make the catch, and couldn't corral it. It's just a foul ball, an 0-2 count on Burns, who wound up all the way around second base, ran that ball out despite it being in foul territory. And when he arrives back at home plate, he'll find his baseball bat stood up at home plate thanks to his opposite number, Fernando Gonzalez. And we'll reset on an 0-2 pitch. That's the 66th pitch for Ivan Romero, working with 2 out, 1 out, rather, a 2-strike count on Connor Burns here in the bottom of the 4th. YD leads the Firebirds 6-1. 0-2. Fastball missed a little away.
It's not the easiest guy to try to find a baseball on Sam. Dark clouds overhead, and the ball doesn't pop that well.
Burns had a home run yesterday that came in the 6-run first inning for Orleans. 1-2. Swing and a miss. He got a fastball away from him, and Burns reached for it. Came up empty. Second out here in this bottom of the 4th inning. And the 4th strikeout for Ivan Romero. Red Sox leading 6-1 here with 2 out in 4th. And here's Logan Beard. The DH was hit by a pitch his first time.
I'm interested to see, Sam, how much further Romero continues with his YD team. We've seen the cap for pitchers, for starters, especially around 75 pitches. He's up to 68.
Beard, a right-hand hitter. First pitch from Romero. A slider that bends a little bit high. And the count is 1-0. Well, the Red Sox didn't get any length yesterday out of their starting pitcher. Bryce Robinson pitched just 1 inning. Gave up 6. 1-0. Skips a fastball. Misfired in Gonzalez. The count 2-0. And doesn't look like there's any action for the Red Sox in their bullpen at the moment. Red Sox looking for some length out of the University of San Diego Torero, bouncing on mound as he gets his sign. 2-0. Up and in fastball. The count is 3-0. Second 3-0 count of this inning.
And 2 walks for Romero so far. He's only got 2 hits.
Both those walks came in the first inning. Romero stranded them both. 3-0. Here takes a fastball outside corner. Catches the strike zone. The count is 3-1. Infield, a slight shift to the pull side. Really just the shortstop, Woody Haiti, playing deep in the hole. That's what he seems to like playing against the right-hand hitters. 3-1. Fastball, it just missed outside. 2-out walk to Logan Beard. He'll head over to first base. Orleans a chance for a 2-out rally. As Beard stands aboard for Tommy Hoppy, the switch hitter batting left, first baseman. 2-way player pitched in game 1.
And I think, Sam, with this healthy lead, you can push Romero a little farther than maybe you would if the game was 2 or 3 runs closer, because you have that leeway.
As long as the Red Sox keep scoring runs, they lead 6-1. First pitch, Tommy Hoppy takes a fastball high. The count is 1-0. The 9-hole Eric McCleary in the on-deck circle. Hoppy in his first at-bat. Grounded into a double play. The shortstop. Haiti playing up the middle. Slight shift on him. 1-0. Change up lifted in the air. Left field. Caden Hunter has it in his sights. It's right at him. He barely has to move. Makes the 2-hand catch. It sends us along to the 5th inning. The 2-out walk straight for Ivan Romero. And at the end of 4, it's the Red Sox 6 and the Firebirds of Orleans 1. Here in game 2, Red Sox trying to sweep Orleans aside. We head to the 5th. It's 6-1.
Woo! Yeah.
Pole isn't P-U-L-L, not P-O-L-E, right? Which pole is it? I don't understand. The foul pole, but like there's 2 of them. So how do you know? I was lost. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Is this still Conti?
Yeah, it's still
Sam Conti. What's up? Kaden Connor home run.
Francis has 2 home runs in a grand slam today. Yeah, that's right.
Wait, wasn't that be 3 home runs?
Which one was the grand slam?
Want me to do this? Giardino's Family Restaurant, the Cape Cod tradition, same family, same location for 52 years. Giardino's is part of the community, giving back to many and various organizations. As part of the recognition, a Yarmouth Little League field is named in memory of their dad, who founded the business in 1970. Giardino's is a family-oriented operation serving a wide range menu, sure to please everyone. Give us a try, and you will come back. Visit us at 242 Main Street, Route 28 in West Yarmouth. Visit Giardino'sFamily.com. We're back to the 5th inning, and Sam Lebowitz is back on the play-by-play.
Red Sox lead 6-1, looking for more. A win today means YD moves on to the second round of the CCBL playoffs. It means they're just 4 wins away from Marine. Still, lots of work to get tonight out of the way against these Firebirds and trying to get more runs on the board. Caden Connor, Fernando Gonzalez, and the top of the order, Woody Haiti against the left-hander Sam Conti here in the 5th. 6-1 YD, and here's the first pitch to Caden Connor. Fastball chops it up the first baseline, but it's foul. And they count 0-1 to Caden, who has struck out and flown out. The lone Red Sox today, who's yet to reach base. In his trips to the dish, the Red Sox have 8 hits on scoreboard. They've been aided by 4 Orleans errors. They got 3 runs in the first, they got 2 in the second, they got 1 in the fourth. And Connor trying to start something here in the 5th. Conti coming in relief of Ben Shields. Pitch the last inning. 0-1. High fastball. He got 1-1. Shields went the first 3. Only 2 of the 5 runs he allowed were earned. All 4 errors that Orleans committed came in the first 2 innings of this baseball game. A ball and a strike on Connor. He swings and misses it. Fastball running low and in. Came up empty. Count 1-2 on the newest 22-year-old in the Red Sox lineup. Turned 22 on August 2nd. Took an 0 for 4. Said sometimes he likes playing on his birthday. Sometimes he doesn't. This was one of the cases in which he didn't. But last year, he went 6 for 6 on his birthday in a different summer league. Conti working out of the full line up first base side of the river. 1-2, left on left. It's swung on, lifted foul along the left field line, heading towards that smaller berm where many Red Sox fans sit. The count remains 1-2 on Caden Connor. A nice crowd on hand tonight at Eldridge Park in Orleans. What could be the final home game for the Orleans Firebirds this season. And if the score holds, it would be. The Red Sox trying to knock them out in just 2 games in this best of 3. 1-2 again. High fastball, he checked his swing. They won't even check, he barely moved it. They count 2-2.
That's something Caden's been working on these last 6 or 7 games. He struck out a little more than he usually has. A strikeout in each of his last 7. Let's see if he's able to get a board here. Struck out in his first at-bat to end the first.
Conti 2 balls and 2 strikes to Connor. On swing. High fastball, he fouled it off back towards the road behind us. And in someone's backyard, a place there that has seen many baseballs land within it.
Hope they have strong windows.
Or just an affinity for the sport, because, you know, they have plenty of baseballs. 2-2 to Connor. I'll stay forward and tight against the trading left fielder, left-hander. A long hold and another 2-2. The fastball just missed off the outside corner. Conti swinging that left leg up and recoil, thinking he had strike 3, but it missed a little outside, says Jeff Merzel. The count is 3-2. To Connor, sporting a 2-tone bat, a black barrel, and bright green tape on the grip of an ash handle. Infield and outfield playing straight up. Long turn at bat here. A 3-2. Outside for ball 4. Caden reaches for the first time today. He takes a leadoff walk. And a chance for YD to extend a 6-1 lead as we're getting going here in the 5th inning.
Caden's only taken 15 walks in 44 games, but that's a good one there. Able to get a board, and we'll see if Fernando Gonzalez can keep the line moving. YD has had the leadoff batter reach in 3 innings today. Sam, they've scored runs in each of those 3 innings.
They'll try to continue that trend going. Here's Gonzalez, the 9-hole hitter, a right-hand hitter. He's got a single in the deep flyout today. Waves that bat above his right shoulder. Conti looks to first, now looks home. Sets and fires, and Gonzalez swings at it and fouls it off his leg up the third baseline. Down 0-1 on the Georgia State catcher, who's back perked up towards the end of the season. He had hits in each of his last 6 starts, including today. That makes it 7.
He's hitting 400 in those starts. You get that out of Fernando Gonzalez. Fantastic.
8 for 20. 8 for 20 in that stand, including a hit today. Connor from first, the 0-1. Bounce back to the mound, fielded on 1 hop by Conti. He holds, throws the second throw on the relay. The first is in time to get him. McCleary, a strong relay, and a stretch over at first by Tommy Hopkins. And Gonzalez, the catcher, running even with the hesitation as Conti wait for a shortstop to get to the bag. He turned it over. 1-6-3 on your scorecard. The leadoff walker race brings the top of the order to the plate. Cole Carrick, the Red Sox lead 6-1 with 2 outs in the 5th.
Something you talk about all the time, Sam, is when pitchers have to throw, not from the mound, sometimes it can get a bit wild. Conti making sure he put that one on a line, and with the catcher running just enough time to turn 2 for 1.
Here's Carrick, switch hitter, batting from the right side. A single in 3 trips today. First pitch, inside, almost hit him a fastball, rushed him off the plate. Cole singled back in the second, came around and scored. Hitting from his batter's side. Average up over 400 as a right-hand hitter. 1-0. Ripped down the left field line. That's a fair ball heading down into the corner. Carrick takes a big turn around first, but played nicely by the left fielder Keishel, who holds Carrick to a 2-out single. We got to get Cole Carrick a better helmet size because every time he's running and every time he takes a big hack, Sam, he loses the helmet. Now we all get to see the beautiful golden flow he has on the back of his head, but man, he can't run around the bases without having that helmet fall onto the dirt. Maybe it's intentional, Carlo. Maybe he likes feeling a little more aerodynamic out there without that navy blue helmet atop his head. In any event, he stands at first, threat to run. He had 15 stolen bases in the regular season that led the Red Sox. Another switch hitter, Haitian, before he sees the pitch. They'll throw to first base, Carrick back with a head first dive safely. Haitian today, a pair of infield singles. He's also been hit by pitches, stolen a base, has scored 2 runs. He's been in the middle of everything for YD. Another throw to first before the first pitch to him. Carrick again back with head first dive.
Carrick's got 15 stolen bases, which is 5th on tape, but he hasn't stolen a base since July 13th. It's been nearly 3 whole weeks. See if he's off and running here.
Carrick had been nursing a bit of a groin issue in the last week of the regular season. Healthy enough to play, playing well today, and they'll check on him again. This time he's back standing. Hoppy's down a little late. 3 straight pickoff throws, reminding us a little bit, perhaps, of the kerfuffle at the end of last night's game as the sun began to set. We were running out of daylight, and they threw over to Caden Connor about 6 times in a row in that 8th inning. First pitch, swing foul, back by Haitian to the net. Of course, that led to the benches clearing incident right as we were pausing for the 9th. Resumed today at noon. Played the 9th inning. Red Sox 1-12-11. Game 1 is series best of 3. A chance to sweep today.
field. This is just his 7th game that he's playing in the field for Orleans.
Two-way player, guy who has mostly pitched in game 1 among the relief contingent for Orleans. 2-0 to Montgomery. Runners on the corners, 2 out. This is inside a fastball. Montgomery, another guy who is a two-way player, playing right field today, but he was the closer after playing the first 8 innings in right field in game 1. He closed today when we resumed at noon this afternoon. Allowed a walk in a scoreless inning to close out a 12-11 victory in game 1. We'll see if he swing on 3-0. He is. He swings and misses a fastball. Count 3-1. Red Sox leading 6-1. Chance to extend that with runners on the corners and 2 out. And maybe their best hitter at the plate in Montgomery, a guy who drove in 19 runs in the 18 regular season games that he played. 3-1. Low for ball 4, a fastball. And he loads the bases off to Montgomery. Burns, the catcher, will go and chat with his Trinity left-hander with his stacks full of Red Sox. And a guy who's got a pair of hits today in the batter's box and Hayden Schott. The rest of the infield will join the meeting on the mound. There is movement in the bullpen. Our right-hander has been throwing for Orleans. Gillian Nicholson, the manager, is staying firm in his corner of the dugout. Doesn't look like he's all too interested in taking his left-hander out just yet. A left-hand hitter here, another one in the on-deck circle, Mike Bovey. Red Sox lead 6-1. Chance to extend this lead here. Big spot in this game. The 4th time in the first 5 innings the Red Sox have loaded bases. Comes here with 2 out. Hayden Schott today. A single he reached on in air, another single. He's also driven in a run. Good speed at 3rd and 2nd in Carrig and Hayden. Decent speed at 1st in Montgomery. He gets faster as he gets moving. First pitch, taken down and in, and sprawling to his right is Burns. The corral fastball. His shot backs out of the left-hand batter's box. Count 1-0 to Hayden. Columbia Lion, who played his first 2 years of collegiate baseball at Cypress College under Coach Pickler, who watches in the dugout, hoping he can come through for him here in the playoffs. 1-0. Chopper right side of the infield, Hoppy over deep in the hole, has to wait for his pitcher, and he throws it away, and it goes into the Orleans dugout. It scores a pair. Carey and Hayden both in at 3rd. Stopping there is Brady Montgomery and Schott as the ball went out of play. Gets second base. The Red Sox extend their lead 8-1, and the walls caving in for not just the Orleans Firebirds on the 6th error of the game in the 3rd for the first baseman Tommy Hoppy. In 2nd of this inning, his missed hedge error on pop-up allowed those runs a chance to score. And Schott, a well-placed grounder, creating havoc on the infield for Orleans. Red Sox up 1-0 in this best-of-3 series. They lead 8-1 here in the 5th with 2 out, 2 in scoring position. Another left-hand here, Mike Bovey. First pitch, skips into there, a nice backhand stop by Burns, and bats it off to his right side.
This now 6 errors on Orleans, and is the most errors committed by any team in a single game all summer.
And it comes in the worst possible spot in the playoffs with their backs against the walls. They now face a 7-run deficit. Could be more if Bovey can come through for YD. 1-0. Fastball at the knees. Burns pops out of the crouch, fakes to throw to 3rd. Brady Montgomery not all that far off the 3rd base bank, stands 90 feet away. Hayden Schott, average runner at 2nd. Well-placed single. Could make this a 4 spot with 2 outs. Red Sox already lead 8-1. A 1-1 count to Bovey here in 5th with 2 out. Conti deals. Fastball taking a call, strike outside corner. They count 1-2. Bovey today, strikeout, a single, a walk. All his at-bats have come against left-handed pitching. A righty is up in the bullpen, probably face Homer Bush, the on-deck hitter. That's Cole Stallings at his Stetson. Conti is set above the belt, a deep breath. 1-2 in the dirt fastball. Spiked it right above the shoe tops of Bovey. Orleans fans have not yet left this ballpark in what is shaping up to be the last Firebirds game of the season. But there has not been many cheers as of late. Not much to get excited about. 6 errors in the field for Orleans. 8 runs on the board for YD. 2 in scoring position, 2 count with 2 out. Taken on the outside corner, strike 3 call as Burns popped out of the crouch. He was ready to throw down to 3rd, but home plate umpire Jeff Merzel says it was strike 3. Bovey set aside, looking. Red Sox get 2 runs here in this top half of the 5th, thanks to a couple of errors. 6 errors, the most by a Cape Cod team committed this summer. It comes in the playoffs for the Orleans Firebirds. We're halfway home here at Eldridge Park. It's 8-1 YD in Game 2 playoffs.
Yeah, I could also.
What did they wind up crediting Schott? Single in error? E3.
We have the record for most errors. Yeah, no. Russell's gonna save me this time, guys. Hey, one game, one game. This is where we came back last time. Okay, let's come back.
Can I ask a question? We're halfway home here in Orleans, a 8-1 lead. The YD Red Sox lead the Firebirds as the Firebirds come to bat against Ivan Romero to begin the 5th. Nick McCleary, followed by Luke Keishel and J.D. Urso. 9-1 in 2 spots. As the Firebirds trying to cut into this big lead. Red Sox with 3 in the 1st, 2 in the 2nd, 1 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th. First pitch, Keishel. It is lifted softly to short off that Nick McCleary. Broken bat, little looper from the right-hand hitter. It's out there by Woody Hayden. 1 pitch, 1 out. Says high for Ivan Romero to begin the 5th. Brings at the top of the order Luke Keishel. Another right-hand hitter, Keishel today. They pop out to first. He reached on fielder's choice and scored the lone run for Orleans.
The Red Sox were down 7 runs yesterday in the bottom of the 5th. The Orleans Firebirds now down 7 runs in the bottom of the 5th. We know how that one ended, Sam. To come back.
First one. In the dirt, trying to shoot a changeup. And Keishel took it low. He got 1-0 to him. Red Sox coming from behind. In game 1 of this series, they trailed 6-0, then 10-3. They won 12-11. 1-0 is ripped down the left field line. Well, foul. Keishel hit home run distance, but got well out in front of it. Count is 1-1 on Keish. Pitching some scores from around the league. Can't keep in with the trends that Eastern Division looks like. They'll have a pair of sweeps. Roosters leading the bottom of the 7th over Harwich 5-1. 1-1 misses high from Romero to Keishel. 2-1 in the West. The teams that lost yesterday, both winning big. Falmouth 11-4 over Bourne at the top of the 8th. That's in Falmouth. Gets to it 9-1 over Hyannis, also at the top of the 8th in Hyannis at McKean Park. Ramirez 2-1. Fastball in for a called strike. Count 2-2 on the man they call quiche. Carlo, do you have any opinions on quiche, the breakfast food item, the eggy pie?
Well, it usually has cheese in it, and I'm unfortunately lactose intolerant, but it is good.
2-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. Fastball upstairs. Quiche swung right on through it. 5th strikeout for Ivan Romero. The second out here in the bottom of the 5th. The Red Sox leading Firebirds 8-1.
Quiche is a great breakfast, though, because you just heat it up.
It lasts well. You can make a big quiche. You can put whatever you want in it. It's like a pie. It's like a cake made of breakfast food items. First pitch to J.D. Urso, right-hander. Chops it to third. It stays fair for Bobby right behind the line. His throw to Johnny Long across the diamond is in time. And Ivan Romero sweats off the mound with 5 strong 2-hit innings. We move on to the 6th as the Orleans Firebirds go in order at the end of 5 innings. Here at Eldridge Park, the Mighty Red Sox lead Firebirds. It's 8-1 in Game 2 of the playoffs. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. It was us. Yeah. Yeah. I know who it is, but can you throw this somewhere? Okay. Yeah, it's yeah. Deadline is the official web development company of the Arlington Red Sox. If your website isn't generating leads and sales you wanted to, contact Deadline. Deadline offers comprehensive website audit that will identify ways to improve your site and increase your ROI. Check out Deadline.com to learn more. A new right-hander on the mound for the Firebirds here to begin the 6th. The first right-handed pitcher that they've used in this ballgame. It's Sam, in replacement of Sam Conti. It's Cole Stallings, the third Orleans pitcher of the night out of Stetson. Pitched to a 3.68 ERA across 10 outings. Started 3 ballgames for these Firebirds in the regular season with 16 strikeouts and 14 2/3. And the Red Sox trying to sweep aside the Firebirds here at Eldridge. Winning Game 1 yesterday/today as we had to resume it due to darkness at noon this afternoon. They won that one 12-11. They're beating Orleans here 8-1. What would be a season high in errors among all Cape League teams with 6 on the board. The regular season high for a Cape League team. The Red Sox set that with 5. Homer Bush to lead off, right on right against Stallings. A step back, wind up, first pitch, a fastball, collecting the air, deep to right center field, hit well. Back goes Humphrey in front of the wall. He makes the catch. Ball just didn't carry very much off the bat of Homer Bush, who made a loud sound off the barrel of it, but instead it's a long fly out to begin the 6th.
Scott Pickler gives Homer a fist bump as he heads into the dugout. Pick, when he sees you hit the ball hard, he likes it. He's not a guy who's going to ding his batters or putting a good swing on a baseball.
Johnny Long, another right-hand hitter, first pitch to him. Fastball in for a call strike off the right arm of Stallings. Long knows something about loud contact. He's been the ball very hard as of late as he goes fishing on an 0-1. Down 0-2, a breaking ball there that he swung over south. Johnny had the grand slam yesterday that got the Red Sox back into Game 1. They trailed 10-3 at that point, and off the left-hand Colin Kramer turned it into a 10-7 deficit. 0-2. Foul tip right back to the net behind home plate. Count is still 0-2 on Johnny Long today. Johnny, 2 RBI single and a pair of flyouts to center. Red Sox leading 8-1. Top half of the 6th here at Eldridge Park. A large crowd on hand to see the Firebirds. Has not moved despite the lopsided score. 0-2. High fastball takes Burns out of the crouch and missed well upstairs to count 1-2 on the Long Beach State dirtbag, who certainly knows the scouting report on Johnny. College teammates over in California. 1-2. Breaking ball popped up in the air. Right field line. Looking over is Keishel. And it's out of play. Luke Keishel, we hadn't even noticed, is now play pace for the Orleans Firebirds. After Tommy Hoppy started there and committed 3 of the 6 errors on the scoreboard, including 2 in the 5th inning. That allowed runs to score. Dropped the pop-up that extended the inning and misfiring. 2 pitch covering on a play that wound up scoring 2 runs. And Hoppy is now out in left field. 1-2. Popped the foul out of play. Keishel and Hoppy just swapping places if you're charting the defense in your scoreboard.
No, I am.
As in my Carlo. Tools of trade. Whatnot. Long at bat here. Johnny Long fighting 1-2. Down and away with fastball. We got 2-2. Oh, Carlo, we were talking about quiche in the last thing. I know you're not a big fan of quiche because the cheese within it. 2-2 long. Breaking ball missed a little bit high, maybe a little inside as well. Froze Johnny. He took it. They count 3-2. But you're an egg guy. That's true. Your go-to thing that you do with them. 4 eggs that you crack your bowl, whisk them, little omelet.
Almost every morning. I mean, we share the same fridge.
3-2. Foul tips back to the backstop. Takes a wicked carry back to the field of play. Foul ball. We count 3-2. We do. Roommates the song. Been a wonderful experience, I think.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed being your roommate.
Yeah. But every day around noon, crack those eggs, whisk them up, put them in the pan.
Yeah, it keeps me pretty full, and when we have like 3:30 games, like we could have tomorrow, I really don't need lunch.
3-2. Rip off the third baseline and foul. Almost got one fair down the line. Could have been an extra base hit. Instead, another foul ball. A long turn at bat here for Johnny Long.
The Red Sox can earn themselves a much-needed off day, Sam. They're playing hot, but there's a group that hasn't had an off day in over a week.
Stallings a step back to 3-2 again. Upstairs for ball 4, and how about Johnny Long? Now 0-2, fouled off a myriad of different offerings from the Stetson right-hander. And he finds himself aboard at first base. A nice walk there for Johnny. His first walk of this game. Brings up Caden Connor, who took a walk his last time up. 1-out base runner. Here in the 6th inning, the Red Sox a chance to extend 8-1 lead. A score that, if it holds, would send the Red Sox on to the second round of Cape Cod playoffs, effectively the semifinals across Cape Cod, the Eastern Division Championship. Left-hand hitter, Caden Connor. 0 for 2 besides his walk. Stallings peers in, first pitch. Foul tip off the shoulder protector of the catcher, Connor Burns, and goes back to the backstop 0-1.
Stallings, a Stetson Hatterson, one of the best nicknames for a college team.
I know this, Carlo. Do you know why they're called the Stetson Hatters as Stallings steps on?
I think I do. You want to enlighten me?
It has something to do with the founder of Stetson, who was a hat manufacturer, John B. Stetson, who was well known for his brand of hats called Stetson hats. 0-1, Connor pops it foul, heading back over the road behind us along the third baseline. The count is 0-2.
Now, Stetson hats, they're not your normal everyday ball cap.
We're not talking about the hats that baseball players are wearing, Carlo. More like fedoras adjacent to a cowboy hat, in some cases, a cowboy hat.
And ain't cheap.
Out Central Florida, where you can get pretty country. We're on first one out. 0-2. Swing, a miss. Change up. Had Connor out in front of it. He set aside. Second time Caden struck out today, the second out here in this top half of the sixth. Brings up Fernando Gonzalez, right-handed catcher with a runner on first. 8-1 Red Sox, 2 outs. Top of the sixth.
Sam, do you have a Stetson hat?
I don't. You know, I like wearing hats, but I'm much more a baseball hat guy. I don't own any cowboy hats. I don't own any fedoras, although I think that I could look good in one. Throw back to first base and Johnny Long back on his feet. I was at a store once. Put on a fedora. They told me I was pulling it off. First one.
Did they turn you and say?
Ball outside Gonzalez. Can't win no.
I'm sure they didn't turn to you and say I think you should leave. They probably said I think you should buy that.
So they said that it's an expensive hat. They said I look good in it. Pretty complicated. 1-0. Fastball called strike outside corner. 8-1 Red Sox. We're having some fun on the broadcast booth. Hope you're having fun joining us in Game 2 of the postseason. Red Sox a chance to extend their run at a championship ring with a win today here at Eldridge Park. They won Game 1, 12-11. They're winning 8-1 tonight. Best of 3 series. The 1-1. Gonzalez slaps it the other way. Played on one hop foul by Luke Kiesel along the line. Red Sox, if they can come away with a win, maybe celebrate with a trip to Disney World, maybe Six Flags.
I hope they all go to Disney World tomorrow. That's in Orlando.
Not tomorrow, if they win the whole thing.
Oh.
You know what they say after you win a Super Bowl, I'm going to Disney World.
Have you ever been to Disney World?
First 1-2, worked in the air, right center field. Humphrey going back. He's got a room. He makes the catch with one hand up to his right. Out the gap at right center. I've been to one in Florida. Disney World, Disneyland, I can't keep him.
Land in Los Angeles.
Then Disney World. I've been to Disney World in Florida. Okay. We'll take a break. Midway through the sixth, Red Sox leave a runner on. They lead 8-1 as we head to the bottom of the sixth here at Eldridge Park. Game 2 of the playoffs. Chance to advance with a win tonight.
Did you post it? Let's go. Why are we starting B? All right, Danny.
Oh my God. What's up? Good. Great. This is fun.
Apparently you guys are pretty good baseball.
Well, we suffered about a week and a half.
Yeah,
Now we're playing.
we're back.
All right. Yeah. Bottom six coming up here at Eldridge Park in Game 2 of the playoffs. Best of 3 series to start the whole thing off between Firebirds, the YD Red Sox. It's been all Red Sox in Game 2 after taking Game 1. Come from behind 12-11 victory that took 2 days to complete. They're up big today, 8-1. And Ivan Romero back out there for a sixth. The right-hander works Sidra Metzler. First pitch, right on right, a fastball. And Jeff Merzell says it missed a little outside. Metzler followed by Isaac Humphrey and Jacob Stinson. And Romero, after the Red Sox only got 3 outs from their starting pitcher yesterday. Bryce Robinson gave up 6 in the first. Romero has been much needed help today. 1-0. Metzler takes a fastball, a call strike.
That last pitch was his 85th of the game.
He is living well today. Just 2 hits allowed, 1 run. That came back in the third, just a singleton against him. Dancing on the mound, 1-1 is chopped left side of the infield. Mike Bovey plays a long hop. Throw across, gets the speed, Metzler by a step and a half. First batter set aside for Ivan Romero to begin the bottom of the 6th inning with the Red Sox leading by 7. Same score that they trailed yesterday. Same deficit, I should say. An 8-1 game here, a 10-3 game after 4 innings yesterday at Red Wilson. Red Sox coming from behind in that game in big fashion. Johnny Long's grand slam catapulted them to a 5-run 5th inning, a 4-run 6th, gave them the lead. They didn't look back. First pitch to Stinson. First pitch to Humphrey. A call strike, a fastball on the outside corner. Left-hand hitter Isaac Humphrey, one of just 2 pure left-hand hitters in this lineup. A walk and a ground ball out today. Ground ball out that caromed off of Romero, the second baseman carry. 0-1. He lifts one foul that hits the top of the Orleans dugout. The count is 0-2. With his walk in the first inning, Isaac Humphrey extended his on-base streak to 32 games, including the final 30 of the regular season. 0-2. Up and away a fastball. The outfielder out of Louisville has been a key contributor in the middle of this Orleans lineup the entire season, really, for the most part. He's been here the whole way, played 33 games in the regular season. Out of the 44. 1-2. Swing and a miss. He got my fastball. Humphrey well behind it. Got underneath. 2 up, 2 down for Ivan Romero. He has not allowed a base runner. Since a 2-out walk in the 4th, he hasn't allowed a hit since 1 out, back in the 3rd. And that's his 6th strikeout. Brings up the other left-hand hitter in this lineup, Jacob Stinson. He won't get to face him, however. Scott Pickler is out of the dugout. Hasn't made a move yet. Hasn't pulled the ball just yet, and there he goes. Looks like Romero will exit with 2 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. It looks like Von Maurer, who is coming out of the bullpen for the Red Sox. Romero waits on the mound to greet him. Hands the baseball pats his glove, greets Brady out of the third base dugout before heading back in. A cheer of applause from the Red Sox faithful along the third baseline. Von Maurer comes in, 2 out, nobody on. Faces Jacob Stinson here with 2 out in the 6th inning. Red Sox leading 8-1. We'll take a break.